And here we are. Very good.
Here he is.
Very good.
The man of the hour.
Don't know about that so much, but yeah.
It's Stephen Bancroft.
Banky Show. All right. Welcome to GCP Bytes, episode number 33 for Friday, the 30th of January, 2026. GCP Bytes is a podcast where we discuss Google Cloud and tech, and I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. On today's show, we're back for 2026. Google finally did it. They're on top. Google signs a deal with Palo and also buys Intersect. Remember HPUX? Well, it's no more. And has Google finally won? Apple has gone with Gemini. Let's find out in the AI wars. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to introduce the co-host of the show, Dave Wall. How you going, Dave?
I'm good, mate. Back in the, I would say in the new year, but January's just gone.
Just about finished. We're well into it. Yeah. And our very own GDE, Ian Brown. How are you, mate?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good to be back in the hot seat.
Getting into the swing of things. Yeah, things are starting to rev up. Yeah.
Yeah, but geez, where did January go?
It went to Dante's Inferno. That's where it went.
Yeah. It's the seventh level of Dante's Inferno.
Geez, we had a couple of hot days there.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it definitely was. Victoria had a cracking one. Was it yesterday or the day before, Dave?
The day before, yeah. So it was 44, 45 degrees where I am. Now I'm pretty close, like on the coast, but a little bit further inland. It got nearly 49. Like that's just a horror. That's that hit you in the face.
Oh yeah,
heat.
Yeah. It's absurd.
But yeah, best thing about being in Melbourne is the heat doesn't stick around for long. Like you might get a couple of days for it, but we were 44, 45 degrees and then 22 the next day. So it's like,
yeah,
lovely.
We don't get that luxury up here, up in Queensland. It's just hot in summer. It comes in at like mid to end of November and it just goes from like these nice 24 days and all of a sudden the next day it'll be 32 and it just stays there.
Bang.
and the humidity comes in and it's horrible. But
yeah, and I guess when you have that long lingering heat, like the building heats up, or your bricks kind of your concrete all moves up to a temperature. So even if you do get like a cool day in there, you're getting that radiant heat that still
takes a while for that to drop back down. Yeah,
it's a reason why Queenslanders are so prolific up here.
The house, the architectural style.
The house style, yeah. So they sit 3 foot off the ground so the air gets underneath them.
Yeah.
They're all timber construction, so you don't trap any of that heat. They are cold in winter, so they've generally got a fireplace in the middle of them. But
the 8 days of winter that you get.
8? Hang on, we haven't had 8 days of winter in the last 10 years.
and also really handy when you get a flood.
Yeah.
Everything's up out of it.
That 4 foot off the ground probably needs to be 12.
Wow, yeah. Have you seen up far north? There was a video I saw yesterday of one of the floods that are up there. It's the Copperfield River, I think it is. The crossing up there, and it's going over the highway. And there's just the water is running that hard. It's up and over the highway, and it's just like this wave in the torrent. And then there's a railway crossing to the left of where the video was taken, and it's just a wave over the top of that as well. It's moving that hard.
Yeah, pretty epic floods up that way.
Oh yes.
I've been on leave a lot of the time. I came back to work briefly for about 5 days, and then I'm back on leave again. But I've had a little tech adventure during that period, and I got myself a BYD Sealion 7. It's a 2025 model. For those of you that work at Mantle, you know we have a vehicle subscription arrangement with Mantle Group, or if you're maybe looking to come and work at Mantle, you should probably know about that as well. And I got it through that.
Yeah, so how's that work? So it's different from a novated lease.
Yeah, well,
right?
It's the same idea, right? So it's a salary sacrificed lease, effectively, and all the costs are covered under that. except they call it a subscription because at any time I like, if I don't like the Sealion 7, I can go and swap it out with another one.
Right, so it's because like normally with a novated lease, the car is in your name, right? You have to borrow there's like 50 grand, for the car, and you have to. There's still a loan and everything there. Is that not the case? So somebody else actually owns it, and they just.
That's right. There's none of that.
Sick.
Yeah, someone else actually owns it. Yeah. In this case, it's through Origin. And the guy at Origin told me a little sneaky. So Origin are the first mob that allows you to do the wall battery augmentation. So you can plug the car into your wall battery and run the car from the house from your car, effectively.
Oh, vehicle to grid.
Vehicle
to home or vehicle to grid? I think there's a couple of different tiers.
I don't know exactly, but from what I understand, the legislation's all through now, and Origin are the first company doing it.
Awesome.
So he told me, I just charged my car at work for free, and then I drove home and run my house off the car.
That's cheeky.
Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. So that's the kind of
I like that. It's like sneaker net, but for power.
Yeah.
I love it. So that's the kind of things you can do. So yeah, I'll look at that. We're doing a whole piece of work out here with a carport and the rest of it. So the charger will go in there. At the moment, I'm just doing the granny charging.
Granny charger.
Yeah, which has been fine. I've just done a few trips around here. When I got back from Sydney, because I had to go to Sydney and pick it up, it's about 60 Ks, and it charged overnight just fine. So it got to 100%. It's been getting to 100% every night with that, within a few hours. So that's all right for now. But the car...
Yeah, it's only really if you were, if you had a 150, 200K round trip commute every day, you'd be like, okay, I really need that extra charging, right? The granny charge is not going to get me topped up enough. But my sister has the same car, right? She got the Sealion 7, and yeah, she's got a long ass commute like that. So you definitely need to have that 7 kilowatt charger to top them off.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, certainly for your local like round trip ones, yeah, granny charge is fine.
Not a problem.
I'd never heard of this subscription model. I just Googled it. It's on Origin's website.
Yep.
It's like the Origin EV subscription.
That's it. The Origin EV subscription.
You can get like a BMW iX, whatever it is. You can get BYD vehicles. You can get a Tesla if you're that way inclined.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're all the models are there. We wanted this slightly bigger boot space, and the Sealion 7 has 500 litre carrying capacity. It's an SUV. The car itself, look, I mean, it has all the bells and whistles that you'd expect from any sort of modern EV. The fob, the NFC entry, the remote control. I'll get onto that in a minute. Leather interior. It's got illuminated, LEDs all around the place. I like the the regenerative braking options. You've got the normal or the high. I've had it in high a lot of the time, and I got used to that pretty quickly because it is a little bit more grabby.
It's a bit aggressive.
Yeah,
right?
it's a bit aggressive, but I did get used to it, and it's got obviously your driving modes: eco, sport, snow, and normal.
You put it in sport sometimes.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, I did put it in sport and give it a little bit of a squirt up the road, and it's got a little bit of
pin your ears back
cracking going on, which is nice. But it's not the performance model, so it's the premium model. But the performance model apparently does sit you back in your seat. This one does enough of that, but I was surprised because the Lexus has these modes as well, and it's a hybrid. But the eco mode is like really an eco mode. It's as slow as a wet week. It just doesn't take off. But the Sealion 7, the eco mode still is quite nippy. So I've just been having it in eco mode, and it seems to still drive quite nicely.
I just drive I've got the Sealion 6, so the plug-in hybrid, and I just keep it in eco all the time unless I feel like like giving it a little bit, and then it switches to sport mode, and then usually I have it back down.
Yeah, when you want to take off around the corner, add the lights or something. Yeah.
The great one little, if you haven't already, one pro tip, because I found, I don't mind all the driver assistance stuff, with the exception of the speed limit detection.
Oh yeah, I turn that off. Whoa.
You got it, yeah.
So
I keep it on, but you have to turn off the sound.
Because
I'm like, why am I anxious?
That was the first thing. So it kept cutting into the radio and the music, and it's like, I've got to stop this.
I wanted to ask about this because I read an article the other day that says that ANCAP are going to start penalising cars that are overly intrusive because they've suddenly realised what the airline and the shipping industry have known for decades, that too many warnings is a distraction that causes accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's it like with that? Because I know with my patrol, I've got all of that nonsense turned off. I don't care about its lane departure or its collision detection or anything like that. I just turned it all off.
So it has a driver-facing camera, and it monitors your face, and it'll pop up. It'll do driver fatigue detection. If you yawn, pops up on the dash and it says driver fatigue detected, and it comes with a little picture of a coffee on there. Take a break. And it also,
I've had mine ping me a couple of times, like, dude, chill out.
If you look away for a second, like you might be looking the other way, or you're looking at the to change the air conditioning. If you look away too long, can't do that either. It pops up and it says, stay focused on the road. It's like, you know what? I've been driving for 40 years. I think I'm okay with this.
You've been doing it wrong.
I think I'm good, mate. Yeah, that camera would get a bit of tape over it. Quick smart.
Oh, no, you can go in and switch it all off. You can, all the features are there. That's the driver monitoring or driver detection or something. You can switch all that off. But
the only other one that's pinged us a couple of times is there's a detection in there to make sure you don't leave your kids in the car.
Oh yeah.
All right. But if you do happen to, and obviously not just your kids, but if you like park the car and you go, I'll run into the shops and leave, say, like your partner in the passenger seat. Right? You go, cool. And you go inside and then they move, it'll set the car off. Like, no, I'm like 38 years old. Like, I could get out of the car if it got a bit hot. But
I'm hoping they've improved. I mean, that's just a software update, right?
Well, you can change the settings and you can turn it off. If you turn it off, you get like a little indicator on the dash saying that it is turned off.
Right. So, but I did have an issue, and this comes down to the so-called subscription model. When I received the car, the NFC key for the previous user was still enabled, and the remote access for the previous unit was still enabled as well.
Oh.
So I didn't immediately realise this, but when I had it for a couple of days, and then I thought, I've got a bit of time now, I'll go and set up the app and the NFC on the phone and all the rest of it. Sat down to do it. First of all, installed the app. How the hell do I add the car to the app, right? There's no way to do that. So I sent off an email to Origin, and then by magic somehow the car then appeared later in the app. So they must have done that at some point. They sent me some instructions on how to then pair the phone, but the instructions they've given me versus what I see on my phone and the dashboard, no, they're not the same thing. They're completely different. So something is broken there. So part of the, like in the time I've had my Sealion 6, the UI has changed. There was a pretty major update that came through about 6 months after I had mine. I've noticed this, yes.
So maybe there's a bit of that. Like some of those instructions may have been from the last software release.
I think so. Then I had a problem with the previous user's key still being in the system, and I was not able to delete that without having the key present. In other words, their phone present. It wouldn't let me remove it. I quickly found out that I just do a software factory reset and bang, it's all cleared out. It's gone. And their remote access is removed now as well. So I've at least got them out of the system, but I still can't add the phone to pair the phone to the car. So I think it's going to be a trip to BYD to point out the problems with this. It gives me some error about saying bad network connection. I'm going, well, why do you need to go to the network for? Like, I don't understand. Hopefully we can get on top of
it. It might be the car's data connection.
Yes, I think that's it. But I can connect it to my Wi-Fi here and still get the same problem. So, don't understand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, at least now when you do go to like the BYD dealerships, they now actually are all owned and managed by BYD. So I noticed like my local service center has changed over because it was like attached to a Ford dealership and like the Ford guys that do the service from a BYD. Now they have their own like dedicated facilities.
Right.
It's all just a bit better.
Right. Okay. And they'll have access to the computer system to make the changes. Yeah, in the app.
Yeah,
because the app as well has got old data for the car. It says it's only got 4,000 Ks on it, but the car's nearly got 6,000 Ks on it now. So it hasn't been paired with it for quite a while.
But yeah, good fun. I mean, it's kind of an exciting time, and it's great having these other options for being able to get vehicles and.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, all the fancy tech. I mean, I can take it or leave it, but the thing that does excite me is the full charging EV, the full, electric vehicle. Getting away from actually having to pay for fuel, I'm all for it.
Yeah, especially if you've got free charging hours, or you've got like an EV plan on your power. It's just like, this is great. It's so cheap to fill it up.
Yeah, that's it. So that'll be my next sort of move, to take a look at what I need to make changes to my Origin power plan. Yeah, haven't done that yet. What about you guys? Nice. What have you been up
to? Well, for me, I've been coding up a bit of a toy project, really. But it's so we've got at our rifle club, we've got an electronic target system. And in order to actually see how I shot on the weekend, I have to put that thing online, which I really don't like doing because it's about as secure as an open box. It really is. It runs over HTTP. There's no security on it. We've got to run it over a Cloudflare tunnel. There's all sorts of nonsense that goes on there. So I built a replica of it from scratch so that we could upload all the string data into it and visualize it online.
Mm.
Yeah, I put that to the club, and we're in the process of migrating over to it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good little fun project. And then, speaking of phones, you're talking about pairing your phone to it and getting apps and all that sort of stuff. JK was talking to me yesterday, and he sent me a link to the Clicks Tech communicator phone. So think of a BlackBerry,
oh god,
but running Android 16 with a full keyboard. And no ability to doom scroll.
I looked at when you sent me this thing. I'm like, okay, this is a dumb gimmick. That was my initial feeling. My gut feeling was like, oh god, I remember Blackberries.
Yeah.
But also, I was like in desktop support when Blackberries were a thing, and like we had to support the damn things running Lotus Notes.
Oh, no thanks. I'll pass.
It's as bad as you would expect.
No. I know. I used to run Lotus Notes.
That's just terrible.
But, the more I kind of looked into it, I'm like,
yeah,
okay, not as my daily driver, but as a companion device.
Then you've got to carry two devices around. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm looking at it as the daily driver because I doom scroll way too much. And, and I really don't want to. So if I don't have the ability to, then fantastic. But
you can, right? Because you would be doom scrolling on a really annoying little screen.
That's exactly right. That's the best part about it. So it's a 4.03 inch display. It's an AMOLED display. It doesn't do the standard sort of apps that it does. All the apps are there because it's an Android phone, but it doesn't display stuff the way a standard Android phone does. And it's got a full QWERTY keyboard on it.
Yeah, so it's much more for actual communication.
It's a communication device. Yeah, it's a communication device.
Mm-hmm.
It's super light, and I love the specs on it. So a 4 amp hour silicon carbon battery. So I had to read up on these because I was like, silicon carbon? What the? Silicon carbon batteries have a 20% or 20 to 30% more energy capacity than a lithium battery, just with the way that they work. It's got Qi Qi 2
Qi
charging. Yeah, Qi 2.
The wireless charging.
Qi 2 charging. Yep.
Is that how we're supposed to pronounce that? I always pronounce it as like key.
Yeah, Qi.
QI. Just say QI.
Yeah. QI, yeah. I probably need like a manufacturer or like the specs guys. I need to hear them say it.
Yep, yeah, exactly. So USB-C plus wireless charging, and it's MagSafe compatible. It's got 5G on it. It takes eSIMs. It's got a headphone jack.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's got.
I like its little indicator light. It's a RGB little indicator light on the side. So you got this button, but also you can show off like I guess like alerts and notifications.
Yeah, so every time, like when you get an alert, it'll flash that button a certain color. It's got 256 gig of storage on board with a micro SD card that bumps you up to 2 terabytes.
Wow!
And a 50 megapixel rear camera and a 24 megapixel front camera for video conferencing.
So a camera that's good enough, not the stupid triple lens zoom. None
of that. Comes with a myriad of different back covers and all that. And I love it.
I like the replacement back covers because it reminds me of the good old days of phone cases. Like, Nokia.
When you go down to the markets and buy a $2 phone case.
Yeah, so you're going to get me a Jack Daniels case from a Nokia.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if you guys have realised this yet, but it's so Clicks Tech is Mr. Clicks on YouTube. He's I have no idea who that is. He's a tech YouTuber,
right?
And he's basically designed this phone as a homage to all nerds out there that just want a phone that does phone stuff, like the old school phones that do phone things.
Right. So you can make calls on it.
Yeah, you can make phone calls on it. You can still surf the internet if you need to. It does all of that. It just doesn't do. It's not a multimedia device like a normal iPhone or an Android phone is.
Right.
You can still probably install Facebook on it if you really wanted to, but the browsing experience on it would be complete garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it. I wonder, now having been so long since having like tactile keyboard, how I would go on using something like that. Because my first Android phone, back in, 2007 or something it was, I had a Motorola Milestone.
Oh, wow.
Which I had to grey import that in, right? They weren't available here. There was like one Android phone on the market in Australia, I think, at that time. But the Milestone had you had touch screen on the front, but then you could slide the screen out sideways, and then you had a full keyboard, like the Motorola Sidekick.
I think it was Sidekick.
And I think they called them. I think they were called Droids in the US.
Yes,
it was Milestone internationally. And that was great because I used to play like PlayStation emulators on there, and I had the keyboard as the control.
Because they ran so Nokia's, so it was Android, but it was
Android.
Yeah, okay. So it wasn't Nokia's OS, the Mi OS or whatever it was called.
No.
And what's good about this is the price, because we know that the price of iPhones and Pixels has just gone bonkers.
Oh yeah,
we're talking $399 US for the reserve.
That's $650 Australian is what it cost me,
mate. Brilliant.
When are you getting? Oh, you pre-ordered it? Is that the?
Yeah, I reserved it. Full reservation, $650.
Be looking forward to your review once you get it. I don't know. Might be a bit of fun.
I've been saying to my young fella for ages, I just want a phone that does phone things. I'm not interested in having a computer in my pocket. I am so old school like that.
The constant ping and messages from it.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. It's that just constant ding, 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 ding. Like I've got 3 different emails on this phone and about 60 different chat apps. And I'm over them all.
Yeah. And I mean, this is why my phone is just constantly on Do Not Disturb. And people can't get me. It's like, well, blame the world for this.
Yep.
We've got one more here in Banter. What's this about Gmail spam filter?
Oh, so this broke on Australia Day. Oh my God. My inbox was absolutely and utterly flooded with garbage.
Okay.
Is that what happened?
Because when I only just read this article this morning, I hadn't seen this, but like on Australia Day, I woke up and I had at like 4 a.m, a dozen like scam, like newsletter thing targeted at like the kind of people who would donate money to like Donald Trump's going to save the economy if you give me $20. Like that kind of stuff was like flooded. I'm like, what is this? All this garbage.
So it affected 1.8 billion Gmail users with a B, billion. And basically what happened was their spam filtering system broke, essentially. So what happened was spam messages were getting, instead of like normal messages routed to promotions or socials tabs, if you've got the tab view going, ended up appearing in inboxes. The spam system became overly paranoid about legitimate correspondence and started spamming that. And then, everything turned on its head. So it's sort of, for me, it just sort of highlights just how fragile that AI-powered filtering is that Google puts in place, in that I'm assuming an update caused it. I could only assume, and it was an update that caused it. There's no information on whether that was actually the case. But that apparently that blocks typically 99.9% of spam, malware, and dangerous links, and it didn't on
that day.
On that day, it was broken. Very, very broken. So,
well, there you go. All right. Well, if you've got heaps of spam in your inbox, then that explains why.
You're now actually making me go back and just jump into my spam and see if at the same time, if anything legitimate did actually go in there that I missed.
That would be a good check,
Yeah. I do that pretty well daily. I check the spam.
Oh, God, no.
I just get so much email every day.
I let it go. Every now and then I go on an unsubscribing rant, but somehow it all just creeps back.
I love the unsubscribing rants. They're fantastic. Make me feel so good.
Yep. All right, then. Well, look, enough of the banter. Let's get on with the community news. All right, Ian, take it away. What do we got?
Righto. Well, we've only got 2, so and one of them's a fair way out. So this one's the GDG Sydney meetup for February. Again, as is always the case, it happens at Metal Group at 580 George Street. It's happening on the 4th of Feb from 5:15 Sydney time until 8 o'clock. And there's a couple of talks there. One is reliable agent engineering, and the next one is memory is the new attack surface. So it's all about stateful AI on Google Kubernetes engine. So that's a really cool one to look into. And the next one is from GDG Darwin, but it's not until April. So these are the only 2 events that are scheduled thus far. And this one will be a Build with AI event on the April 10th, but we'll cover that one closer to time.
It's all about the AI, hey?
It is.
All about the AI. All right, well, with that kicking off for the year and out of the way, let's get on with the news items. And as per usual, our first news items are people moves. And this particular people move is an interesting one. Nvidia hires Google Cloud marketing leader as its first CMO. The article goes on, this is an article in Adweek. Article goes on to say the world's most valuable company has tapped Google Alison Wagonfeld as its first CMO. Now, a CMO, and the acronym has escaped me here at the moment.
Chief Marketing Officer.
Chief Marketing Officer, thank you. NVIDIA's not had a CMO before, What do we think?
They're doing pretty well without it.
Exactly. So I'm not sure what
This shit sells itself, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what their motivation is here
It's like
to bring
the cartels
her in.
don't need a marketing manager.
Marketing? What marketing? We need no marketing.
Nvidia is formalizing its marketing leadership for the first time as the company role at the center of the AI economy continues to expand. Chipmaker has hired longtime Google exec Alison Wagonfeld as its first CMO. So interesting move there. I guess, yeah, I mean, as the year goes on, we're going to find out exactly what that's all about. Yeah, as you said, guys, what do they need to market?
Yeah. Maybe they're marketing to other hyperscalers about their new chips. Who knows?
Who knows? But it's pretty blatantly obvious when a new chip comes out. They don't exactly, everyone sort of scrambles to talk about it. They don't exactly need to market it.
I mean, they're probably already sold, right? Like all the DIMMs, like the wafer production for DIMMs is already sold out for like the next 2 years, and all SSD production is sold out for the next 2 years. It's probably the same with like Nvidia with graphics cards. It's not like you're not buying the chips they make today. It'll be, okay, yes, we will buy 100,000 6090s.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we know they're not going to turn up for 18 months, but you're going to be making them, so we'll buy those ones.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
More about marketing that, yeah. All right, cool. Well, we'll see how that works out, but we'll move on here, and we've got Broadcom news squeezed in here between people and finance. We might need to look at this structure here a little bit, guys, but we'll go on with the Broadcom news right now. And this is more to do with GCVE. And Dave, you chucked this one here, and I think it's one of your little favourites there.
It's just a little one, right? We always like to keep across what's happening in GCVE land, given that we all have a fairly intimate knowledge of that product. So snuck in the release notes in January is that certain actually it was very early December, but updated in January with a couple more regions. GCVE clusters, private clouds, are now starting to support mixed nodes. So if you migrated to GCVE, say 2 years ago, on what were VE1 nodes, so your primary cluster was all VE1 nodes, and now you're either wanting to, I'm going to put big quotes around this, do a tech refresh onto the newer, larger VE2 nodes. Maybe you actually want to cut down and go, because they are significantly larger. Maybe your fleet has, you've migrated out of GCVE and you go, okay, well, I have 10 VE1 nodes. Maybe I can squeeze down to
like six
VE2s, but I'm going to have to build an entirely new private cloud, and I'm going to have to migrate to it. That's a bit of a pain in the ass, right? If you've got all your NSX config, you got a fair bit to do in there. It's a lot easier if you can just spin up a new cluster in the existing cloud, vMotion your stuff across, off you go. Now you can do that, right? So you can actually have a single private cloud that has both VE1 and VE2 nodes. They can't be in the same cluster, but you can just add an extra cluster. The only thing that I can see at the moment is there's not a direct way to migrate the control plane from the VE1 cluster, which would always be considered your main cluster, to get that migrated over to VE2. But maybe we'll see that coming soon.
Yep.
My gut feel is that yes, you would.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes sense that's where it would go, because Google would want to get those VE1 nodes out of there as well. They don't want to continue supporting those.
No.
Yeah, especially as they age too. They'll be getting towards the end of their life now.
Yep.
If they're 3 or 4 years old.
Yep, for sure.
And then,
interestingly here that in Australia, that's only available in Sydney. It's not available in Melbourne, because Melbourne, to my knowledge, doesn't actually have VE1 nodes.
Yeah, I think it's all only
all
VE2.
VE2s.
all VE2s, yeah. And look, that paves the way for the, for VE3 nodes, I guess. Once they've got this process in place, this migration process, it'd be pretty straightforward to move on to those as well.
Yep. And again, it's seeing how the product's matured. There's also been a few updates in how the whole NFS thing works, which, I mean, we had to set it up, not that long ago, and it's a bit of a dog's breakfast.
It's more than a bit of a dog's breakfast. It's a complete cluster.
Yeah, so since we did it, they've done some updates into how that process works, and their documentation's been updated a bit. So I haven't yet done a run through with the new processes, but I will be doing that soon. So, we'll see how that goes.
Right.
Yeah, they have split it up quite a lot. They've fleshed out the using NFS volumes as vSphere data stores, and the documentation is a lot better than the single-page nonsense that it was last year when we were trying to set it up.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that also means that the support docs have, been documented better.
Improved, yeah. All right, well, cool. We'll keep you across any Broadcom VMware stuff that happens, but that's a nice new little feature. All right, well, getting on with what I call some big news. This is in our finance section. Google is suddenly on top in everything that we're seeing. So a couple of stories I'll link in the show notes here. First one's from the Cloud Wars, and we've been covering stuff from the Cloud Wars for a few years now. The guy by the name of Bob Evans, he's got his own little ranking called Cloud Wars. And he has, kicking off this year, put Google, GCP in the number one spot, overtaking Microsoft.
Yeah. And then Oracle gets the second spot, which kicks Microsoft back to number 3.
Kicks them back to number 3, yeah.
Evil Corp is in second place.
And look, he goes on in the article and discusses why he's done this, but I guess the key call out is he's saying it's remarkable how relentless upward journey from Google Cloud. When I launched the Cloud Wars top 10 ranking 9 years ago, Google debuted it at number 9, and there's just been a slow creep ever since then until finally now we've hit number 1 spot.
And I wonder how much of this is due to the VMware stuff, where like late last year, before Broadcom cut off hypervisors selling VMware licensing, Google saw a massive sign up of 3-year commits. And it was
so much.
Yeah, It was hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars just in Australia, I'm assuming, because I know there's a whole heap of companies that signed it, the 3-year commit for it.
Yeah, paid their cards up front, with like 24 hours notice.
Yeah. So I wonder how much of it is got to do with that, and how much of it is just that constant plodding growth that Google does with new products and ease of use and addressing business need, as opposed to just releasing a new tool.
Yeah, no doubt. It's due to both paradigms for sure. And it's not hyperbole, because Alphabet's market cap has surpassed Apple for the first time since 2019. Another article I'll link from CNBC. Google parent company saw its cap go past Apple since 2019. Alphabet's market cap was $3.8 trillion on Wednesday, while Apple had $3.84 trillion, just nudging them out by a nose.
And then I saw in a different article that we'll cover later on in the AI Wars that Google's market cap topped $4 trillion after an acquisition.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing all the right things, right?
Yeah. So, there's big money there.
Along with that, the shares rose by more than 2% on Wednesday, closing at $322. Meanwhile, Apple's market cap was 3.84 trillion, as we said, as shares slid more than 4% over the last 5 days. Google's going up, Apple going down.
Yep. Apple might be going up shortly.
Well, we'll get onto that in AI Wars and the possibility that Google could be winning the AI race. But, the numbers are telling the story there. It's not hyperbole, as I said, and it's, how long can we maintain it for? Let's see what 2026 brings. But But while they're cashed up, they're spending some dollars. They just paid $4.75 billion for Intersect. Now, Intersect, who are Intersect? Develops utility-scale renewable energy solutions for data centers.
I had to look these guys up.
Yeah, primarily it's wind, solar, and battery.
Yeah. So they co-locate wind, solar, and battery at the data center.
Smart move.
Yeah, I mean, but that seems like a fairly obvious thing. Like, why?
But
what do these guys do that is unique that Google would need to buy them? That's not just any utility size.
Well, the problem is that the problem with external utility providers is that they want to service, well, their main customer base, which is not the data center. Right? Data center is just a small part of it.
No, but I mean any installer of scale, right? And there is a proliferation of these now, right? The amount of like grid scale projects, they're not all just being built by the utilities themselves. There's a lot of developers. I wonder what is specific about Intersect that would make them an acquisition target. Why would Google want to own a company like that?
I'm not sure. I don't really know enough about Intersect to make that judgment, but I think based on what this article has detailed out, I'm assuming it's that they have all of the different renewable energy modes there, and that they can.
And renewable would have been a big part of it, absolutely, because Google's got a big push for that, right? Maybe that was just available. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, so we'll see how that one pans out, but it makes a lot more sense to me, right? You build your huge. We won't get into the whole, data centers are bad for the environment and the community. I mean, that's another debate. A few good documentaries on that, but we need them to keep staying work. But it makes sense to build a data center.
Not in my backyard.
No, not in my backyard. Exactly. It makes sense to build the power right next to the data center, and it sounds like with this, the power is going to be exclusively available to the data center. Yeah, which if it helps reduce the power costs for the mums and dads, then that's good, right? Because data centers sucking up all the commercially available power is just creating the whole supply and demand thing and pushing the price of power up. And if they can do it in a green way, I love it. That's good as well.
Yep.
Maybe if you work there, you could get some free EV charging. All right. So while they're spending money, they're making a little bit of money as well. They've signed a $10 billion Palo Alto deal. Now, this is an interesting one. We know there's already a bit of deals going on between Google and Palo. You can get your Palo devices in there now, and Palo do a bit of security for Google Cloud. But a part of this agreement, article here on Network World, Google signs $10 billion deal with Palo Alto Networks. And part of this agreement, some of Palo Alto Networks' current services will be moved to Google Cloud Platform.
Yeah.
So this will be their SaaS and PaaS services, right?
Yeah. So one of the collaboration on a different article talks about the collaboration of what's actually involved, and it's Google Cloud's AI and infrastructure with Prisma Airs, which is Palo's AI security platform.
Basically, they're going to start using Gemini for their AI. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Google's won the AI war there.
No doubt. And like a lot of other things are going to come along with that, right? There's, it basically expands Google's security offering and their security footprint.
Hopefully not a lot of spam in my mailbox.
So we don't have a lot of details on that one at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on it as the year progresses. All right, I chucked an article there in our chat that we've got going there about HPUX. I think all three of us have touched and used and been part of the HPUX story in our careers as we've moved along, but sadly, HPUX is no more.
I am very sad about this.
Gone.
I am very sad.
Article on the Register, the last supported version of HPUX is no more. Remember when HP made its own CPUs and Unix?
Yep. the PA RISC.
Yeah, the final version of HPE's own flavour of Unix, HPUX 11i v3, is now out of support. It is the end of a line that started in 1982.
So I had a HP, it was an old pizza box. It had a PA RISC. It was a 712, I think it was, workstation. And a 21-inch CRT monitor that sat on top of it. And that PA RISC CPU was running, I think it was 166 megahertz.
And they did a lot with each megahertz. I tell you what.
It was faster than the Pentiums that were of its time.
Yeah.
Miles quicker. And I loved HPUX. It was a fantastic operating system. What I did find funny about this whole announcement is Sue's coming out and saying, we're the natural heir to this.
Well, any Linux could say that.
and I have actually clicked on their article about how they're the natural heir, and I found absolutely no evidence as to why they're the natural heir. They've literally got this one line that says, over the years, Sue's Linux Enterprise Server has proven itself as the perfect replacement for HPUX environments.
Yeah, right. So not that they have any secret source of being able to lift and shift your PA RISC coded applications and run them on there.
No, it's just we're the natural perfect replacement for it. No qualification whatsoever. It's
reasons.
We're the natural replacement for reasons that we're not going to tell you because there are none.
Please, we're relevant. Man.
I can imagine there'd be a whole heap of companies that using PA RISC that are probably looking at going to like a RHEL or a SLES or Ubuntu or some other sort of Nix environment.
So way back in the day, I had to containerize a little bit of a different term. It was HPUX containers. And we... because we had some old HP 9000s that were running like critical manufacturing at a pharmaceutical company that I was working for, right? It was running production for years. And it was getting to the point where these HP 9000s, while they were still under support from HP, ever increasingly expensive support, you'd get a disk fail on them because the disks are ancient. And the HP techs would turn up and the disks they would have would DOA, right? So we're like, okay, geez, even like it's all refurb kit, right? Yeah. There's no parts, no matter what you're paying for it. Which prompted us, like, we virtualized our HPUX 11, which was an ancient version. Like, the last patches were like from the Sydney Olympics era, right? Wow. It was like 2000, 2001. So we virtualized those onto HP Integrity boxes, which were Itaniums, right? So you could emulate the PA RISC code on Itanium. So that was like, we made the big jump up from HPUX 11 to 11i v3, the latest and greatest ancient thing. So you did that, but I recall at the time is that HP was putting in some work to enable you to virtualize HPUX workloads on RHEL. Yeah.
Because that's their chosen OS.
They never actually made it out the door.
Well, that's like HP Enterprise's default OS is a RHEL-based OS from memory. And I do have to have a little chuckle here because the HPUX 11i v3 is the last remaining OS essentially that runs on Itanium.
Yeah. Yeah. When even when we put those integrity boxes in, I had to get them refurbed from HP because they weren't. You couldn't buy them new. So yeah, it was a whole process. We had to implement a legacy system to tech refresh an ancient legacy system.
Still new to me.
Right? Yeah. Hey, at least it was a 2U server instead of, well, there's two 2U servers instead of the like giant rack of a thing that was the HP 9000.
Yeah. Solid piece of hardware there, right? Like,
and the Itanium chips were last shipped in 2021, so they're getting on a bit now too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, I need one of them for my
collection. The site that I implemented those has been bulldozed, so
right.
I don't think it's in production anymore.
I don't know. It's an Itanium. It might still be.
It might still be there, running
buried
in the dirt.
Yeah, plugged in, sitting out in the rain.
And of course, why this grabbed my attention too is Commodore for Commodore computers, which now is famously back, and we could go into that as well. But Commodore computers looked at it for the next generation of Amiga. At the time, they'd released in the early 90s, they released the Amiga 1200 and 4000, and that had what was called the AAA chipset in it, Advanced Graphics Architecture chipset. And they were looking to move into the next chipset, which was called the Hombre chipset. And it was going to be implemented using the PA7100 RISC architecture. And HPUX would have been a perfect fit for it because they'd already had in the Amiga Workbench, there's already kind of a Unix style operating system, and they had a scripting system called AREX. And you can go back now and use that on emulators and things, and you really get a vibe of where they were going with it. Of course, Apple did this as well, right, with their move to BSD. That was about 1995, and of course, Commodore went bankrupt around that time, and it never was envisaged. But that would have been definitely an interesting move. And
now it's started back up again because one of the tech YouTubers,
Perifractic,
Perifractic. He's started it back up and making Commodore 64s again.
Yeah, so he's the CEO, and what he's done, we won't go into it now, but he's got back a lot of the engineers and a lot of the original individuals that were part of Commodore, and even one of his most recent videos, he went to the old Commodore site, the building that Commodore built. And it's now a logistics company, and he's having them do the mail-outs of the new Commodore 64s. So,
nice.
So the ship from address is going to be the same address.
Yep.
That's cool.
So
that's really awesome what he's doing. You should go and if you're interested in vintage computing, that's definitely one story you should follow up.
Yeah. Back on the Itanium thing, I was just having a read the very last paragraph in this article on the Register about supporting Itanium because, now that HPUX is dead, there's very little that supports it. Epic Linux and T2 Linux still support Itanium.
Because it got pulled from the mainline kernel, but they're keeping it running, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just having a look at both of them and what the desktops look like on both of them, and the Epic Linux looks very similar to what I remember CDE looking like under HP Unix.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Becky's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, it is KDE, but it's KDE, very similar.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, I remember using CD on the old Spark systems.
Yep.
Yeah, that were the days.
Yeah, Spark boxes, I was using them when I was in the military. And HP UX I was using outside of the army. And it was good fun.
All right. Well, that's our little nostalgia hit for the fortnight.
Sometimes it's nice to show our age, right?
Yeah. We've been through the wars.
Back when CPUs used to double in speed every single release.
I miss that. Yeah, I miss Moore's Law.
Yeah. And now they just double in power.
And triple in cost.
Yeah.
Well, RAM does. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Another article I threw in here is an article on CRN. Google Cloud's new 3-tier system brings mixed reviews from partners. And if you go to the article, you'll see our Mantle Group, one of the Mantle Group internal CEO is Simon Poulton, smiling back at you. And the article goes on to talk about a new system for partners. And primarily, they've introduced a new tier, and that is the Diamond tier. With the Diamond tier, you need to have 200 practitioners with certifications. And
no, 200 certifications total.
200 certifications. My
so that's you, basically, Mankey. That's you can do the heavy lifting. We need 200 associate engineers or one Stephen Bancroft.
Yeah.
Not quite, but I'm making up a percentage.
Spending all your day logged into the Criterion portal doing exams.
What do I do next?
I don't actually have to implement any of the solutions. I just need to pass exams.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, and Ben King, I think those of you that are in the Google ecosphere will know Ben King. That's exactly what he's complaining about. He's saying it's quite a high bar, and you spend a lot of time getting these certifications. For me now to maintain my 7 certifications, I'm looking at the AI one as well, so it'll be the ML engineer, so it'll be 8. It's quite a lot of effort, particularly because it's every 2 years, particularly in that year where they're all falling to be done. I spent a lot of time doing that. And, I guess the opposite is true as well. If you have bigger partners that have thousands of engineers, then they could easily make the 200, and they're not going to have the depth of knowledge that the small to medium consultants have.
Yeah, and I think that's an important one to note too, because the depth of knowledge that's, and I know Ben, he's an ex-Googler. As far as I'm aware, he left Google to start Aviato. Fantastic guy. Both Aviato and Mantle have got such a huge depth of knowledge in their specific clouds that they deal with. In Mantle's group, or in both cases, Google, and Mantle does a whole heap of others as well. But in that Google ecosystem, you've got such a huge depth of knowledge that those big partners really don't have. Like there's lots of them out there that are massive partners, and I don't think they could implement anything like what Mantle or Aviato could in the timeframes.
Yeah, my experience / understanding is that, as we know, most people that are doing cloud are AWS engineers, and if they were to win a Google job, then a bit about cloud, go and do this Google stuff, but they may not be specializing in Google. Yeah.
It's interesting with the cert requirements. I was actually having a little bit of a dig in, because you don't become you've got the 3 different tiering levels, but it's also in different different fields. So for example, you could be a Diamond services partner but not have Diamond Google Workspace. Like, it's not across the whole thing. It's all the different, or you could be Diamond for just like co-sell. So just selling it, but not really implementing it.
And splitting that out. Yeah.
The way the certs count is different. So like to get the co-sell one, it's actually, it's pretty open, right? Like the foundational certs, like the digital leader certs count, right? As well as the associate ones. But for the services side of things, if you want Google Cloud Services ones, it's only the professional certs. So even the ACE, so the associate cloud engineer, doesn't count.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
So, so it's sort of interesting how they've split things out there.
And of course,
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because if you had 200 engineers or 100 engineers, right, and you only needed them to go off and do the 2 like digital leader certs to pad your stats out, that you could get that done in a fortnight.
Oh, pretty easy. Yeah. And of course, they're highly encouraging the use of AI.
Of course they are.
The new program is designed to reward growth and customer success using AI-powered automation. To deliver
please use the AI.
Please use the AI. Yep. And they've introduced new competencies as well. There's a total of 21 new competencies Google is launching this month, including 6 solution competencies, 5 product competencies, and 10 industry competencies. They split that out as well. I guess what do we have prior to that? We had I've sat on meetings with the auditor to win those.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
It sounds like some of that's possibly gotten easier though. There's a lot more automation in how this works, like because it's not just the certs, right? It's also how much new spend you've got, your customer registrations and things, and the way the dashboard works in Partner Advantage pulls that data in. So some of that looks like it's going to get a bit easier. So maybe you could spend a little bit less time with auditors.
Yeah, I think that the one of the bits, and I can't find it in the article again now because I didn't highlight it at the time. There was the new process is directly linked to the business outcomes, so what the business can provide, versus the old one, which was all about ticking boxes from an auditor, and the auditor has no cloud experience or no cloud knowledge.
Yeah,
they're just coming in and going,
yeah,
they're just coming in and going, right, do you have 100 people with certification? Yes, tick. Right. Have you got 3 examples of this?
It's a bit deeper than that. They do look at project work that you've done and try to understand it and see that you've met all the criteria, around planning and implementation. But yeah, they're non-technical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to with that. This is now tied to your business outcome. So hopefully it should actually be a simpler process to get through.
Well, I think it'll be narrower because it's quite broad at the moment. So, if we want to get the cloud, what do they call them? Certification or
competencies.
Competency. It's not a competency. If you want to get that verification, it's quite broad, and you've got to have 2 projects and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you narrow it down just to one topic, one competency, because if they've got, what are they saying, 20 competencies, they're going to have to be quite narrow. Or 21, it's going to have to be quite narrow.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll let you know because I'll probably get pulled into a few of those meetings and we'll see how we go. All right, well, speaking of new features, MCP, all the things. Now, I only recently learned what MCP is, but a story from Google Cloud here, Google Cloud blog, announcing Model Context Protocol, MCP support for Google services. And I guess we should just back up a little bit before we get into this article. What is MCP? Now, Anthropic developed it's a protocol, effectively, called Model Context Protocol, and this article refers it to as the USB-C for AI. It basically allows AIs to communicate with each other or communicate with other services, and it's just a standard API, effectively, to allow that to happen so you can integrate these services. Now, you put this in here, Ian, so why don't you fill us in?
Yeah, so the big use case for MCP here, certainly from a developer's perspective, is local access to your IDE, so that the model has the context for what you're developing. For instance, it can see the code files, it can see your SQL stuff, it can see all the things to give you better answers. But yeah, so Google have implemented MCP with a whole heap of their services. The big 4, Maps, Map Grounding Lite, which is available through Maps platform, connects the agent to geospatial data. Then you've got BigQuery. So the BigQuery MCP server enables agents to natively interpret schemas and execute queries. So much the same as the MCP agent for, say, Postgres. That I'd use locally here. GCE, so Compute Engine, exposing capabilities like provisioning and resizing as discoverable tools, which will help you immensely in make sure you're right-sizing things and not paying for stuff you don't need. And then lastly, Kubernetes. So the MCP server for GKE exposes structured discoverable interface that allows agents to interact reliably with both GKE and Kubernetes APIs. So there you go. That's the 4 big ones that they've released. I'm assuming they're going to put a whole heap more out very shortly.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the plan. I'd imagine all the services would have MCP connectivity before long. And you can run the entire cloud from your AI agent.
Yeah. That's what they're aiming for, though.
Yeah.
You can say to Gemini, hey, I want to do this. I want to deploy this thing, analyze it, and go and deploy it for me. And it'll have a look at it and go, okay, that's a container, and it would best run in Cloud Run, or it'd best run on GKE, and it'd just go and build it all out for you.
Yep. Right. The infrastructure that you need. And then you just prompt it with basic, simple language. You say,
yeah,
I want global CDN.
Yep.
And it just goes and does it.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Very, very nice. And speaking of global CDN, we get a new region in Thailand. Article on Google Cloud blog once again. Google Cloud announces new region in Bangkok. Not much to say about this other than it's a new region, and they're claiming that over the next 5 years, the Bangkok region is projected to contribute 1.4 trillion THB. What's the currency in Thailand?
Thai baht.
Yeah, Thai baht.
Yeah, okay,
Baht,
which 41 billion US in economic value to Thailand and support an average of 130,000
trillion baht.
Oh, trillion baht.
I'm like, that number seems wrong.
1.4 trillion baht, yeah. An average of 130,000 jobs per year. So that's nice.
And it's going to be named Asia Southeast 3. There you go.
Good. Diversifying the Southeast Asian region.
Good for Thailand.
Good for Thailand. All right. Short and sharp, that one. Now, this next one. I knew you were gushing about this, Dave. We're all gushing about this next one. How to change your Gmail email address.
I'm concerned about the gushing term. But
Oh, you know me. No, okay. So this is a new feature, which, like how amazed actually it's really taken this long, but it's great. So you can now up to 3 times total, so once a year and 3 times total, change your Gmail email address without actually having to just go and get a whole new account.
And forward one to the other, and yeah.
So now, so you can go in and you can change it. Your previous one will just alias to your new one, right? So you still keep getting emails on the old address as well, which is great. Now, I think a big one for this is going to be, give how many people like get married and change their name, or divorced and change their name, right? Now, nice and easy. Now, unless you're, prolifically getting married and divorced.
Well, some people do.
If that's your hobby, then maybe you want to have other email addresses. However, for most people, or you've got something cringe, right? You have like, Xbox Skater Boy 6000
set up when you were 12.
And you've been putting that on your resumes. Maybe you want to change that to, John Smith 87.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's good. It's very nice.
I wonder where you do this. I'm just having a look at the moment.
I did actually run through it the other day, and it is actually quite straightforward. I didn't click the submit at the end, obviously, or the change email button at the end, but I did run through it.
Actually, on the fun side of things, I did find out that I actually already have aliases in my email address, because my email address is, I use like a first dot initial dot last name style. I did not know that Google doesn't actually support the dots in your name. So if you email with the dots removed, so just David initial Wall at Gmail,
it's the same.
The emails come through. Like, oh, dang.
Yep.
Didn't know.
You can also there is an aliasing system in Gmail. I didn't know if you know about this, where you can add a plus.
Oh, yes. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can have multiple email addresses in one inbox.
Yeah, I sometimes see that with customer orders come through. They'll have like their email address and they'll have like +Hive at the end. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing the thing.
They're doing the thing, so they know and they can control those emails. Yeah, yep. Very nice.
Yeah, I do that quite a bit with subscriptions.
Right, so you know if your email address has been sold on to someone, you know where it's come from. Yep.
And then I go and give them a blast and unsubscribe.
Yep. So you should.
Yeah.
So you should. All right, let's get on with some security news, and just the one security news item for this fortnight. And I think everyone's been asleep at the wheel. There's been no security coming through.
All the hackers are on leave.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been Christmas time.
That's it, having a little break. This is around Gemini prompt injection, and it's to do with exposing private calendar data. Now, I had to read through this, and I'm going to give you my understanding of it. But from what I could tell is the hacker creates a calendar invite that basically says, if they know the target is using Gemini, then they say in the calendar invite, create me another invite that has all your upcoming invites. And in the description of that, you know how you've got a agenda field, put all the details in there, and then invite me to that meeting. And then basically, when they get invited, and they can read the agenda, which has all of their private information in there. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so it's exposing a flaw in the way that Gemini accesses meeting invites and can automate meeting invites to expose your personal data.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you could put anything in that agenda field, right? And you could prompt Gemini to put anything in there and then invite you to the meeting, and you can see it all. How clever and how obvious, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was like, oh, actually, why didn't I think of this first?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So I would send you an invite and in that it has the prompt telling Gemini to, and it sits there as a native payload.
Yep.
Sorry.
So it requires the user.
It's quiet, it's sitting there. So.
Yeah. So you as an attacker would send me a calendar invite with a malicious payload in it that says, send me an invite with all of Ian's calendar appointments.
All of blah, anything really.
And then I would go into calendar and go, hey, give me all of my calendar invites for today.
So it goes through and it reads.
Goes through and reads that payload and goes, oh, I need to create an invite for this person. And it'll gather all of my stuff, send it to them, and off they go.
Yeah, because you're on the invite, you get the invite, and you've got the agenda field, and it's you got all the information. Very nice. So how do we prevent this? I don't know. I don't know if they've mentioned.
There's no rectification for this as far as I can see.
Well, that's a problem. So just take quote from the article. Behind the scenes, however, Gemini created a new calendar event and wrote a full summary of our target users' private meetings in the event description. There you go.
I'm assuming Google will have addressed this in the background so that it vets calendar invites more thoroughly.
There needs to be a human in the loop for calendar invites. That's basically the only way to stop it.
Well, see, there is in this to a degree, because the human there is the user that's being targeted, querying the calendar via Gemini, and Gemini evaluating all of the appointments in the calendar and then seeing this instruction to say, hey, send this user an invite. So there sort of is, but I think in the background, Google's probably looking at how they can work around this so that payloads can't be put into invites.
Have to make a special rule for it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how they stop that. But yeah, just be aware of that one. All right. It's that time of the fortnight again, and it's the first one for the year. So let's get on with the AI Wars.
AI Wars.
AI Wars. AI Wars. We've got a few articles in here, but I actually think this will be pretty quick. OpenAI to test ads in ChatGPT. What do we think of this one?
I laughed my head off when I saw this. So, because we all know that OpenAI it's a money pit where money disappears.
Money go around.
Yeah. Funding companies throw money into this pit. OpenAI burns that money, and nothing comes out. And so, what they've decided is that they're going to start testing ads underneath the answers in their ChatGPT on their free and Go plan. Now, their Go plans are basically like the Google AI Plus plan that we'll talk about later. And I would be fairly horrified if I was paying for a service and I was getting ads at the same time. That's, I think, is a bit rude. One of the reasons why I stopped...
Now, who would do that?
Foxtel.
Amazon.
Amazon. Well, that's what reasons why I stopped subscribing to Foxtel is because I was paying for it and they were sending me ads.
Yep.
So users on the Plus, Pro, and Business and Enterprise tiers won't have ads. So an e-market analyst by the name of Jeremy Goldman said, if ads feel clumsy or opportunistic, users can easily switch to rival chatbots such as Google Gemini or Anthropic's Claude. But he added that the move could also pressure rivals to clarify their own monetization philosophies, especially those positioning themselves as ad-free by design, which we all know how Google's funding theirs. If it's free, you're the product. It's as simple as that.
That's right. It's your data.
OpenAI has also said it's not showing ads to those under 18, and it also won't show ads from appearing in relation to sensitive topics like health and politics.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds, on the surface, it sounds reasonable for an initial cut, but yeah, I mean, how long before we're getting ads in everything? Yeah. We'll see what the market says. Hey, that's what it comes down to. But in India, it's going gangbusters. So Google has gone the other way. They're challenging ChatGPT with a $2.50 AI plan in India.
Yeah. So I put this one in as well because I was disgusted by this. And I'm disgusted.
Why don't we get this?
Exactly why I'm disgusted because this same plan, so Google's AI Plus plan is currently at an introductory price for 6 months at $2.50. And then it goes, so $2.50, 199 rupees. Then it goes to 399 rupees, so we can call that $5 a month.
Yep.
That same plan in Australia is $12.49 or $6.49 for the first 2 months as an introductory price. So I want to know how it is that, and Google, if you're listening, how is it that in Australia we have to pay $12.49 and in India they pay $5?
Because there's a massive market there.
Yep.
India represents the planet's most engaged AI audience, with 65% of Indians using generative AI compared to 31% globally.
And it's also who you've got to have the budget to be able to actually spend it, right? So they go, all right, well, we offer a really cheap plan. We can get them hooked on our stuff. They're not going to go somewhere else.
Yep. And the plan actually sounds really good. They've got this feature called family sharing. Yep. Up to 5 members can access all benefits at no additional cost.
Yeah, share your plan with up to 5 others in with family sharing. Yeah, so I'm just having a look at the overview of all the plans. So Family Plus is 200 gig. It gets you Gemini 3 Pro and Deep Research in the Gemini app. It gives you access to VO 3.1. It gives you access to Nano Banana Pro. It gives you access to Notebook LM. And you get 200 gig of storage for Gmail, Drive, and Photos, and you can share it with up to 5 family members.
Very good. All right, but still it's not as good as the Indian deal.
Nope.
Yeah, so, I mean, big market there, and, it's getting a little more traction for Gemini. But Apple, on the other hand, I thought we'd finish off with Apple because this is pretty big news, and we've hinted at it throughout the show. Apple has done it. They finally have bit the bullet, and that Siri will be effectively replaced with, will be backed by Gemini AI.
Yep.
So can we call it? Can we say Google has won?
I think so.
Call it.
Call it. Done. That's it. No more AI wars. No, we're still going to do AI wars. Google, this
AI armistice.
Armistice, yeah. 11, yeah. Apple and Google surprised AI partnership announcement on Monday, sent shockwaves across the tech industry and lifted Google's market cap above $4 trillion, which we touched on earlier. The two tech giants deal to infuse Google AI technology into Apple's mobile software, including in an updated version of the Siri digital assistant. Major implications.
It might actually live up to the promises that Apple made back in 2024, was it? When they promised that Siri would be able to do all of this stuff, and Siri's never been able to do any of that stuff.
With the fake mock-up.
Yeah.
And the engineers are watching it going, hang on, it doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well, and I bought an iPhone and I enabled the Apple Intelligence switch on it, which uses ChatGPT, and it was complete and utter rubbish. Like, couldn't even make a phone call. It was that garbage. And I just turned it off, and I've gone back to the old school Siri, and the old school Siri works. It just doesn't do all the things.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're going to get all the things now.
Yep.
You're going to get all the things.
Now, I can't remember which article it was because there's three of them here. Yeah. So in the IT news article, so they've codenamed this Campos or Campos. So that's the deal to use Gemini models to power Siri. Campos will run a higher-end version of the custom Google model comparable to Gemini 3 that is known internally as Apple Foundation Models version 11. So they're getting like the bee's knees of AI,
right?
From what I've read in many other articles, they'll be running it themselves. So it won't be running on Google's infrastructure.
So iPhones don't have a TPU in them?
Nope. They have neural cores on the SoC. So the Apple Silicon has got neural cores on it, same as the M4 or whatever chip they've got these days in the Macs.
So they're going to leverage that somehow.
Yep. Yeah, they'll leverage.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, excellent. Because, maybe it's not one until we see a Google TPU in an iPhone.
Then Google really has one.
All right. Well, no, I'm looking forward to your experience with that, Ian, when it comes out. Maybe that iPhone is useful after all. So.
Maybe not as useful as the ClickStack communicator.
Yeah, maybe not as useful. But another article I'll link in the show notes is it says Apple will reportedly unveil its Gemini-powered Siri assistant in February. So we're going to be seeing this fairly soon.
I am looking forward to it because it's almost February.
It's almost February. A few days to go until it's February. Well, I think that's all we've got for the AI Wars this week. A bit of a bombshell announcement, that one. We'll see how that reverberates. But don't forget, you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Go to Apple Podcasts, write a review. They really help the show out. You can start the discussion, go to YouTube and start it there. And while you're there, smash that like button. You can contact the show, contact@gcvbytes.com.au. Find us on the web, www.gcvbytes.com.au. It's working now because I put the right date in this time. So that's good. And don't forget, today's sponsors are Hive Tech Solutions, Technofish Consulting, and Mantle Group, where you can get a subscription EV, so I hear. That's about it from us. I think we've said enough. You got anything else to say, guys?
Nope.
Nah, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, have a good fortnight. Bye.
Bye. But she just did. Has Google won? Apple's now using Gemini. Alphabet is on top.
Yeah.
Or GCP is on top, and Palo Alto have signed a $10 billion deal.
Sounds pretty much like they're on top.
Yep. Microsoft? What's this? Who's this Microsoft to speak of? Never heard of them.